Good evening, Twitter Church!
Good evening.
And welcome. So excited to be here with you today and to be here with you, my good friend Michelle. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Michelle Bensman. I'm a student here at HDS, finishing up, and I'm about to start my doctoral program right back here. So we've been thinking about...
Yeah, we've been thinking about the concept of new beginnings.
Yeah.
That's our hashtag for the night, new beginnings. But whether it's leveling up or cycling or, we'll get to all that. But when I asked Michelle if she wanted to join me for Twitter Church tonight, the first thing that came to her mind was, how do you reset or prepare to be rebirthed so that you can enter the next phase of life cleanly? Cleanly was an important piece, too.
That was an important piece.
Because you said something about purity, but we realized that that's a little difficult to get into.
It's a big topic.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Cool. So we're thinking about resetting or rebirthing, just preparing for what's next, aka new beginnings. So as you guys know, we usually start with a prayer, and then we do scripture. Since we have a guest, I would love if, Michelle, if you could lead us in prayer.
Yeah, sure. There's a Jewish prayer that is usually called the Shechechianu when you're sort of just talking about it as a short prayer. And it's a prayer that you use to bring in new things, new experiences in your life at the beginning of holidays, when you haven't seen a friend in a really long time, during ritual immersion in the holy waters. So this is a prayer that gets used pretty often. First fruits is another great time to do it when you're eating a fruit for the first time. So the prayer goes, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechechianu, v'kimanu, v'higianu lezman hazeh. And so that means, blessed are you, God, who brings life and sustains us and brings us to this moment.
Amen. Thank you. And you guys know that I love to cite my sources, and that's actually found in the Talmud in a couple of different places.
Yeah,
correct?
It's in various tractates, including brachot, the blessings tractate, of course.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Cool. Tonight, our scripture, our text is Abraham, the story of Abraham, the call of Abraham, which is found in Genesis 12. I'm going to read just the first verse, and then I'm going to give a bit of a remix. So Genesis 12:1 reads, "The Lord had said to Abram, 'Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you.'" It then goes on to list all of the blessings that Abram will experience. This is before his name has been changed to Abraham. This is while he was chilling at the crib. And God was like, go. Like, not even, I'm going to tell you, like, go to this place. He said, go, and then I will tell you where you're going. So with this new beginnings and there being some uncertainty, we wanted to use this story to kind of bring our attention. Yeah. And then also there was another piece about this story that really came to mind for you.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about what are the steps, what's the process of sort of leaving the place where you are and going to the next place, and how do you break that up? And this brings to mind a later point in the Bible, in Genesis 26, where God again tells Abraham, all right, go, I'm going to be there for you. I really will be there for you. And in the 4th verse, he says, go, I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. And that's a verse that has always been very close to my heart, because I love this idea of almost being forcibly told, like, stop looking at the small things that are in front of you and look up. There's like something so big, like beyond you, that you can see a glimmer of it, but the entirety of it is not yet there. So open up to the sky and open up to your imagination of what this world could actually be like.
Definitely. Wow. That's amazing. So the other thing that came up in our conversation, so Michelle and I had an opportunity to talk, and we also we're kind of using a few of the thoughts from my conversation with Rabbi Jeremy Scher from earlier today. So peace and blessings to you, my friend. And we're thinking about Abram and the steps that he went through, and then also the steps that we go through when the example that we had was just moving. Okay, I'm going to a new apartment, I'm going to a new city, I'm moving to school, what have you. And those steps were actually 2 steps, possibly 3. The first is here. Like you first must know, okay, I'm going somewhere and I need to understand exactly where I'm going or that I'm going first. There's movement coming, here it comes. The second two steps could happen at the same time. They could happen one before the other, and that is drop and prepare. So hear, drop, prepare. The thought of drop is sometimes you have to drop everything and just go. Like in Abram's case, he literally was told go, not wait or prepare or take this with you. God said go. And when God speaks, we obey. In our context, we were thinking about the fact of us packing. And sometimes we have to drop our normal routine in order to pack so that we might go. But sometimes we have to prepare in order to pack. So the dropping could be dropping things, activities, or it could be letting go of things that you hold dear, furniture or clothing, and just kind of shedding layers so that you can go that much quicker. There's also the thought of gathering and scattering.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking I sometimes have the habit of maybe being a little bit too rash in how I pack up and not getting enough things together. So I feel like I have to slow down and really think about what are the things that I need to take with me that I can envision into the future, and think about how those things are going to scatter back out into my life as it will be lived in the future. And it's not always such a clear one-to-one correspondence of like who you are here interacting with who are you going to be there, because it's you, but it's also not you, and how do you make sense of that?
Yeah, definitely. My goodness. So there's actually a question that we wanted to ask you guys. We've been thinking about moving. So I don't know if you've heard, but I'm actually moving back to Detroit, and we'll be there for the summer. And, in that thought, this question, actually somebody asked you this question, but I had to ask myself the same question. Maybe you can share it with us.
When I found out where I was going to be for my PhD work in the fall, a dear friend and mentor of mine said to me, okay, that's great. You need to make sure that you celebrate. Otherwise, your angel guides are going to be really pissed off at you. And that thought just hadn't occurred to me. I was sort of, I wasn't excited. Sometimes you hear good news and you're excited, and sometimes you hear good news and you're like, oh, all right. Like, I'm not as excited as I thought I was going to be, and that in itself is a bummer. But she was very serious about the fact that celebration needs to happen because you owe that to yourself, whatever yourself is made of.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah. And so that's our question to you. What movement are you celebrating? You may not be moving apartments or cities or schools or even jobs or daycares, but what are you celebrating? The question that I live by is, what is life without celebration? And I don't want to find out. So, definitely. We also have prayer requests. Of course, we cannot forget those. But I wanted Michelle to tell us a bit about a song that came to her attention.
Oh, yeah. I've been listening to this song called Capsize by Friendship. It's F-R-E-N, ship. And it was one of those YouTube songs that sort of was like next in the autoplay, and it came up, and I was like, wow, this is great. So I've been sort of like grooving to it as I walk down the street lately. Oh, and there's some sound. And it's called Capsize, and one of the lyrics that really speaks to me is, now I can't remember it. It's swimming up against the tide.
Yes. You're
swimming up against the tide, and then you're going right back to where you started. And for me, that's actually literally true of what my new beginning looks like, because I'm not leaving. I'm literally staying in the same place. And I feel like there is something about needing to immerse myself in the waters. There is something about swimming against the tide in order to be able to make that circle and come back to where I am, and yet not have it be the same.
Yes, because no river is the same twice.
Yes, our dear Heraclitus of ancient Greek. Yeah,
certainly. Wow. So yes, what movement are you celebrating? And or what current are you swimming against? We are all moving in one way or another. And we wanted to, at the beginning of the 7th year of Twitter Church, We wanted to kind of dive deeper into the thought of transition, of new beginnings, of endings. In that vein, we would like to ask if you have any prayer requests affiliated with this movement, with this transition in your life, with this feeling that something's coming, but maybe it's not here yet. If you'd like to share more, then by all means, please do. If you'd like to just click like and say, hey, yes, please pray for me, we gladly will. Thank you so much for watching this evening. Michelle, thank you for being here. This has been amazing. Wonderful. All right. God bless, good people. Peace.